YouTuber Showdown! Next, we have Kamran Pasha versus Tom Connor Jr.
This is like the Bald's night? Was that the...
Yeah, kind of
I think so.
Right.
I don't know how tall Kamran is, but Tom, I think, is like, what, 6'2" or something? Kamran seems
He may have a head like a thumb, but he is tall.
They both have heads like thumbs. All right, Pugwaddle, you can start us off with this controversial matchup. And so I want to hear what you have to say. 30 seconds, go.
I think I'm gonna go with Kamran because I think he's just. They both have a fire because I think if Bat Tom comes out, you know, we might see some vigilante justice, but then I also think Kamran has a righteous anger sometimes. It really flares up when he's really passionate about what he's trying to do, what he's trying to talk about, and it's almost. I really think it just depends on the night of who's more just really embedded in, you know, in the idea or the point. I don't know. It's a pretty good split down the line, but I'm going to go with Kamran tonight.
Okay. Gary, what do you got?
Well, very simple here is, I'm friends with both these guys, and Tom is my buddy, man. He's always been there for me. And Kamran, he loves coming on our show. I've learned a lot from these guys. And Kamran is a close quarter guy. He likes to get his hands up in the camera. And so I suspect that he would be doing that a lot to Tom and using a lot of hyperbole because he's a writer. Writers use hyperbole. And Tom, on the other hand, would drop down in tone and become more like Batman. Yeah, Batman. And he would crouch down. And all of a sudden, the height thing, being tall, would suddenly become something abstract to poor Kamran. And Kamran would be thrown off by the fact that he ducks down and tries to fight like a short guy. And Kamran's
about 6'1"?
Kamran, I think, is about 6 foot. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And so his fight would be really thrown off here. And but the fact is in the long run, this would end the same way as Charlton Heston and Gregory Peck's fight in The Big Country, where they would wear each other out and then both collapse, and it would be a draw.
Coward.
I've seen them, so it can happen.
I have to go with Gary on this one. It would be a draw. I can see them both having the same type. I can see them both having the same advantages, the same. I don't think either
fight ever.
Well, I think the points that Gary made are well stated. I think Kamran would definitely be an up close fighter. Mm-hmm. And Tom, with his investment in the Batman, I think would definitely throw Kamran off. I mean, trying to fight like in close fight with somebody who's always on defense.
Batman.
And again, I mean, they're both bald. So, I mean, you got to give them
blind each other. So it's just like blind swings. They're like, did I hit you? Did I hit you?
I feel like if Tom like all of a sudden stood up, he'd rattle the teeth out of Kamran's mouth. But Kamran is like got some sneaky stuff in there because I mean you're talking about a guy who wrote for shows like Nikita and Sleeper Cell.
A lot of action scenes. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's studied. I mean, he really is. And the stuff that he's been working on recently, I would say that, but then again, Tom understands nunchucka. Now, okay.
That's
I think ultimately after 14 and a half rounds, Tom would probably be exhausted. But
probably
or laying across Kamran, who was down on the mat. That Kamran would probably be prone on the bottom, laying on the mat, and Tom would probably be collapsed on top of him at the end of the fight. So ultimately, Tom would be the victor because he hit the mat second. Don't let Kamran know that I picked Tom. Okay. Don't let Kamran know that I picked Tom. Don't let Kamran know that I picked Tom. Don't let Kamran know that I picked Tom. Okay.
Okay.
Don't tell anybody.
Final vote. Punk Waddle.
Kamran?
with draw that they just would wear each other out.
I foresee a draw.
Tom, but by fractions.
Guys, we have a winner. We have a winner. The
Oh,
winner is Tom.
Tom
He's
for
the
the
winner. Congratulations, Tom. You made it another round because people in the chat vote you. You are the people's champion. So there you go, Tom.